start a road trip in New York against the defending NL champs. Daniel Murphy makes his return to Citi Field, and so does Max Scherzer, who no-hit the Mets last time he was on this mound. Nationals fans heading to New York City to watch what appears to be a great series matchup. Yeah, Bryce is here, Murphy's here, great pitching on the part of both ball clubs. And in the East, as expected, it's the Nats and the Mets atop, but didn't know the Phillies would be in the mix right now. For that matter, the Marlins as well after they split with the Nationals over the weekend. So two of the top teams in the league, the Cubs there, of course, two of the top three teams in pitching as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is a power matchup. This is what everybody's talking about, especially the pitching matchup tonight. But everybody wondering how the Nats are going to match up to the Mets. I feel like it's the other way around. Last time I checked, the Nats are in first place, not the Mets. So we'll see what happens in this series. But you look at the winning percentage second, the ERA second. I'm just fired up about Daniel Murphy's return tonight. I'm fired about this pitching matchup. Yeah. It's the marquee matchup in the major leagues tonight. Yeah,
only the Cubs, the dominant Cubs, better numbers than these two ball clubs right now. So let's talk about Murph, who changed his hitting style to a certain extent last year, powered his way through the playoffs, and now he's leading the planet in hitting for our ball club.
Yeah, I always say he went from a pest to a presence, and when you talk about what he did in the postseason last year on the plate, look at the A-list celebrities he's hitting taters off of. That's Clayton Kershaw out there. That's John Lester out there. Watch the last one, the best pitcher on the planet, Jake Arrieta. So he's not just hitting taters on the biggest stage, he's hitting taters on the biggest stage against the best pitchers. So he kind of took that postseason last year, ran with it, and it's kind of flooded right over into 2016. He's the best hitter in the National League as we speak with a 400 average.
Yeah, and there's some of that fire for the Mets last October that we're now seeing for the Nats. So he leads Major League Baseball right at the 400 mark. 56 hits, runners in scoring position, hitting on the road. Daniel Murphy is doing everything for the Nationals offensively right now. And these two ball clubs had some titanic battles last year. Unfortunately, down the stretch, it didn't go the Nats' way.
It went the Nats' way with Max Scherzer as no-hitter. When you talk about the pitching matchups in this series, there's some A-list celebrities going against each other. And when you talk about how the Mets have done it this year, they've done it with power. Power on offense. They're second in the National League with 50 home runs. Power pitching. Syndergaard's fastball averaged 98 miles an hour his last start. So Earl Weaver would love the New York Mets. They are a three-run home run team. They bang at the plate. Their pitchers are power pitchers. But those guys on the left, they strike out a lot of guys. The Mets are third in the National League in strikeouts.
What does Max Scherzer have for us tonight after an historical outing last week at Nationals Park? The low-hit games, the no-hit games, and now a 20K game to add to that list. Scherzer made baseball history last year with his second no-hitter of 2015. So here he is for the first time here since, and here he is for the first time since his historic game in D.C. last week. So let's go back up and chronicle his 4 best starts since becoming a Nat.
This might be the best one. I don't know. There wasn't one ball hit hard all day. 16 strikeout, 1 walk, 1 hit performance against the Brewers last June. And then the near perfect game / no-hitter against the Pirates where he struck out 10 and walked nobody. Celebrate on a fly ball to Michael Taylor. We wanted more, but we'll take the no-hitter. And then right here at Citi Field on October 3rd last year, the no-hitter against the Mets, 17 strikeouts, no walks, an error by his third baseman was the only thing that kept him from a second perfect game of the season. Then last Wednesday, I guess it's really hard to argue with this one. This one kind of speaks for itself. 20 strikeouts, no walks, 119 pitches, 96 strikes. He almost hit his pitch count in strikes.
I know.
And I thought about the other day, what if Anthony Rendon threw that one to right field and maybe he had a chance for 21 strikeouts?
In a tight ball game, I don't think so. 5 pitchers that throw 2 no-hitters in the same season. Only 4, and those have been well chronicled with 20 strikeouts in 9 innings. But Max stands alone as the only one with 2 no-hitters and a 20 strikeout game. Just unbelievable what he's doing. Now, there's a guy on the other side who can throw pretty well as well. Right now, the Mets are a little worried about some of the guys on their staff with velocity. Syndergaard is not one of those.
You want your stat of the night? Last start, his fastball averaged 98.7 miles an hour, 98.7.
So whose slugger gets to the other guy's ace first? Is it Bryce with 11 homers, 29 RBIs? Or is it a guy with 12 homers and 32 RBIs? And for the Mets, that would mean the big, strong right-hander, YOENIS CESPEDES. Sluggers, great pitching. What else do you want from New York City? Brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. By Ocean City, Maryland. Let us show you a good time in Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at OCOcean.com. And by your local Kia dealers. Visit Kia.com. That's DCKiaDealers.com. And learn a whole lot more. 7 train rolling by. And here we are at Citi Field where the Mets on the year are 9-6. The Nats equally as good on the road at 11-8. Mostly cloudy, 59. We had a few sprinkles today, but right now things look okay for baseball. And the Nats hitting .242, 9th in the league in that and in runs, but 4th in homers. Anthony Rendon down in the number 6 spot, but he's always hit well here. Over 300 at Citi Field. Some extra base hits, including 13 of them between the doubles and the homers and driving in runs. So JAYSON WERTH 2nd tonight, Rendon 6th. And then everybody else pretty much where they have been lately. Noah Syndergaard, 23 years of age, 1-0 in 3 starts against the Nats.
Yeah, 4-3 win last start against the Dodgers in LA on May 11th. Pitched a season high 8 innings, gave up 2 runs, struck out 6 Dodgers, walked 1 through 95 pitches, 64 for strikes. In case you just missed it, last start, his fastball averaged 98.7 miles an hour.
He's career 12-9, 31 big league starts.
There's your defense for the Mets tonight. Conforto, Cespedes, Granderson, your outfield. Cabrera, Reynolds left side. David Wright, a last-minute scratch with back difficulties. Walker Campbell right side, and Kevin Plawecki behind the plate.
And Lucas Duda battling some of that as well. He would usually be in there. So here we go. The Nationals play 38 games before they see their rivals, the Mets, this year. And I got to tell you, from a weather standpoint, I wasn't brokenhearted when I saw that we were not coming here in April. It can be a tough place for road games. So here's Revere. Ben is battling, trying to get out of a 4 for 43. And the game's underway right on time at 7:10.
First pitch of the game, 99 miles an hour, right out of bed. Get that foot down early, get a strike.
Revere is 3 for 7 against him career. Out of play left side. The crew chief, 27 years in the big leagues, has the plate tonight on the umpiring crew, and that's Jim Joyce. There he is, Marvin Hudson, James Hoy, Chad Fairchild, first, second, and third. Fairchild's the junior member of this crew, and he's got 13 years. 0-2 to Revere.
100. 99, 99, and 100 right out of bed. Usually it takes a guy a minute to get into the game, get his rhythm, and warm up to that. But for a guy to come out of the bullpen and go double nines twice and then triple digits, come on.
They must still be trying to revive their bullpen catcher as he warmed up for this one.
There's his pass list.
Yeah, Thor, guys in their hammers. That's a little bit low and away at 100 miles an hour. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
This is great. Power versus power at Citi Field tonight.
Drops the hook on him and it misses low and in.
This is how you beat Noah Syndergaard. Grind out at bats, get his pitch count up. He's only been past 100 once. So for the Nats tonight, game plan, have some good at bats, make him go deep into counts, do the little things. If you can steal first, he's not good at holding runners on. That's the chink in his armor.
Revere up the middle. Syndergaard's got it. Yeah, it helps when you're 6'6" on a bouncer like that. 1 out.
And look who's hitting second tonight.
Well, Jayson Werth has hit safely 11 of his last 15 games. Oh for 6 career against Syndergaard. Harper next. He's 3 for 9 against him. And of course the Mets' dislike of Jayson all the way back to, of course, his days in Philadelphia. And they've continued right into his days with the Nats.
100 on the black.
Have we ever said that's an easy look in 100? Oh, and 2 with 1 out.
I think if he throws you a 93-mile-an-hour slider, he's doing you a favor. Even though it's moving, at least you can get the barrel out to hit it. I mean, when a guy's throwing 100, you almost predetermine your swing and hope he throws a strike. It's the only way you hit it. You don't have time to sit back, watch it, determine if it's going to be a strike or not. I mean, you talk about hard is it 95. Well, turn it up 5 miles an hour. And Jayson Werth knew it was coming, was hoping it was a strike, and it wasn't.
Everybody booing Bryce in New York except for late night TV hosts. Bryce at 265.
He had fun on Jimmy Fallon last night.
On base percentage, .456 and 41 walks, leading baseball.
They were playing a word association game, and one of the words was bubble wrap. And Bryce was trying to describe it to Jimmy Fallon. He said, you know, what you do with your trophies when you ship them. And if you're Bryce Harper, that's absolutely what you use bubble wrap for. Yeah. Your trophies when you ship them.
That's a little chopper over by the line, and Syndergaard misses the tag and then makes the throw. Dominant first inning for the Mets ace. Now it's time for the Nats ace as well. 4-2, making his 9th start. And he will face the Mets, hitting just .239, 12th in the league in batting average and runs. So you might say both of these ball clubs from top to bottom have yet to gel offensively. So Granderson has faced Max 23 times. ASDRUBAL Cabrera, the former Nat, has faced him 45 times. So they're the guys from the American League with the familiar thing going on here. And here's Max, 3-2 in 8 games, 7 starts against New York previously.
Pretty sure you know what he did his last start. 4th pitcher in MLB history with a 20 strikeout game. My favorite stat is he threw 119 pitches, 96 for strikes, so 80.7 strike percentage his last start. And he gets 13 strikeouts tonight. He'll tie Kerry Wood for the most 2-game total.
Granderson connects. Right field, Harper. Number 7 for Granderson. Max gives up his 12th, and as usual, it's early in the count.
Just about to say Curtis Granderson will swing at the first pitch of the game. He's done it a number of times this year. He'll ambush on the first pitch, and he does. Fastball up. 1-0 Mets.
That really got this crowd going, as if they weren't already, because when the Nationals took the field, and the Mets weren't very discreet about it, they just pummeled the scoreboard and the video board with highlights of the big series here toward the end of last year, and then the sweep in Washington. So they were jacked, and Granderson put them on top. Here's ASDRUBAL Cabrera, and that's low and inside.
You know, I think Max can expect what he's seen the first 2 hitters tonight. When you strike out 20 guys in your last start, if I'm the Mets, I'm not getting 2 strikes tonight. No shot. I'm trying to put something in play early, all night long.
38th career game-opening homer by Curtis Granderson. 38. So low and inside. Well, look at that. Now 5 on the first pitch. So that's 9 of the 12. Took a little bit off of that one at 86. Cabrera's off to a good start with his new ball club at 281. ASDRUBAL, a 267 career hitter in 9 years, most of that with Cleveland. 229 for the Nats 2 years ago. That was in just under 50 games. And then 265 for Tampa Bay last year. Signed a 2-year free agent deal here. And Scherzer blows it by him with 95.
Set the D for the Nats behind Max. Worth, Revere, Harper, your outfield. Espinosa, Rendon, left side of the infield. Murphy, Zimmerman, right side of the infield. And Wilson, Ramos behind the plate. So you've pretty much seen the Mets in 2 hitters. Their 23% strikeout rate's 3rd most in the National League. Their 51 home runs is 2nd most in the National League. That's what they do. They either hit taters or strike out. They don't run. They've only stolen 16 bases on the year. They slug. So in 2 hitters, they pretty much showed you their whole hand.
Michael Conforto hitting 282. And here's a young guy who played in just 56 games last year, and then had 5 hits, 2 homers in the World Series, and they've got him batting 3rd. Off speed outside. Conforto with a home run, 1 for 6 career against Max Scherzer. And he misses with the fastball. Puts him on the stretch to face YOENIS CESPEDES. So the pitching coach has seen just about everything already. Homer, strikeout, and walk. Cespedes, second in the league with 12 home runs behind Nolan Arenado, and second with 32 RBIs behind Anthony Rizzo's 34. Three for 9 with a couple of walks and a solo home run against Max Scherzer career. Running to the inside edge. The familiar strike call of Jim Joyce.
I love it.
And he might be hoarse by the end of this night with these two pitchers.
Cespedes will chase out of the zone. You don't necessarily have to throw him strikes.
And that's going to hit him. 93 well off the plate. 2 on, 1 out.
Well, you're wondering how Max would bounce back from 119 pitches and 20 strikeouts. Yeah, that was the big question mark tonight. Is he going to have that 5 or 6 game streak that he had last year when he just locked it in and was in the zone? Or would the 20 strikeout game last start have a toll on him? Still too early to tell, but not off to the start he'd like.
Well, who'd the Mets pick up when they lost Daniel Murphy? Former Pirate Neil Walker. And a trade for Jonathan Neese last December. And Neil Walker's off to a good start with his new ball club. 10 homers, 8th in the league, 20 batted in. 7th year in the big leagues. And he went over 100 home runs about a week and a half ago. He's at 103. Right now, Max really missing on the glove side of the catcher.
Well, kind of tying a bow up on my last comment, the one thing you know from Max is you're going to get whatever he's got, full-on competition. I mean, if his fastball's not working, he'll go to something else.
How about a changeup?
Yep.
And a beauty.
I mean, great call by Wilson Ramos. Let's slow it down. Fastball's not working. Try a changeup. Walker all geared up, way out front.
Yeah, perfect pitch. Disruption of timing on the Mercedes-Benz pitch track. Walker 3 for 9 career against Max.
You watch Max when he comes set and he's twirling the ball in his glove for the longest time. He doesn't want to show his grip to the runner on second base. If you come set and you have the grip too soon in your glove, it's open. As a runner on second, I can see it. That gives me plenty of time to relay a pitch to the hitter when I'm in my lead. So watch out when he comes set, he twirls that ball as long as possible until he comes set with the final grip that he's going to have on the baseball. See, that's so the runner can't see what pitch he's going to throw. He settles in. It's probably going to be a fastball. We'll see.
Yeah, an extra look back and now time given on the hold.
Got a little slight turn to his glove, so there's an angle there if I'm the runner I can't see. But sometimes you, as a runner on second, you're not stealing signs. You can steal it right out of the pitcher's glove.
Two with 1 out. Swing and a foul tip. Both outs, strikeouts here in the first inning. Next up, the number 6 hitter, first baseman Eric Campbell.
Well, he's got the good fastball, and now he locates one nice to Neil Walker down the zone, 96. You see the crossfire action. There's a whole lot of heat going on here tonight in Flushing. 96, 97, 100. If you like fastballs, you tuned into the right game, I'll tell you that.
Front door on the slider for a strike.
I mean, if I came to this game tonight as a Mets fan, I'd wear an asbestos suit.
Campbell facing Scherzer for the first time. With Ramos moving away, he smothers that slider low and away, and the count's 1-1. Mets' third biggest home run threat on the bench tonight, Lucas Duda. So Campbell takes his place. Eric Campbell, 231, 1 RBI. Feel pretty straight away. 1-2. Scherzer to Campbell. Up the middle. Murphy smothers it. Throws to first. Zimmerman picks it. And a fantastic 4-3 to end the bottom of the first. I think we'll let Murphy walk up and lead off when we bring you back. He'll be leading off with Zimmerman and Rendon to follow. Well, Alex Anthony, who's not real dramatic, kind of a straightforward shooter, as the Mets PA guy made a very quick intro there. Baseball requires leadoff guys to be introed well before they come in. Now we get the fans. And when he was on the field stretching before the game, they played about a 2-minute video highlight reel of Daniel Murphy from last year. Welcome back, and that was a thunderous ovation.
Tell you what, that play he just made had to help loosen him up a little bit. First time back as a visiting player here at Citi Field. Amazing play. I'm sure there are a lot of Mets fans saying, hey, is that the Murphy we saw here? That was a great play.
1 ball, 1 strike.
And this, you come back, it must feel weird. First game on the other side, and your first chance is a tough one, and you make this play. Diver, throwing as you're falling down. Great pick by Ryan Zimmerman. Welcome back to New York, Daniel Murphy. That saved the run. It kept it at 1-0, and that was not an easy play, obviously. And watch him fall down as he throws it. Good pick by Zimmerman. Foot on the bag.
Well, that saved at least 1 run. I was hoping he could just knock the ball down, and then he ends up making the whole play. 1-2 to Murph. Takes that breaking ball and evens things up. Jeep takes us inside the numbers and where he ranks. I mean, pick your category. Runners in scoring position in there. Extra base hits, he's in there. Number 1 in hits with Gene Segura.
When your middle name's hits, you should be first. Thanks for the memories. Yo, Murph. True story, got in the elevator today, coming up to the booth, and there was a bomb-sniffing German Shepherd in the elevator. And the guy says, sit, Murph. And I said, hey, did you name that dog after Daniel Murphy? He said, yep. I said, good thing I didn't buy the jersey, though.
2-2. Fights one off. It's playable for Matt Reynolds. That's 4 straight for Syndergaard to start the game. In the first inning, he threw 12 pitches, 9 strikes. Ryan Zimmerman next. And he's 0 for 3 career against Noah Syndergaard. Ryan last 13 games, 14 hits, 10 RBIs, 7 runs. 3 of his 4 home runs.
The one thing the Nats have going for them so far is Syndergaard hasn't established any off-speed even near the strike zone. So yeah, it's hard to hit 100, but you don't have to worry about anything else yet. As I say that, he throws one for a strike. That's his first one.
Anthony Rendon, number 6 spot tonight. Zimmerman, left center. Ball falling into the gap, and then it takes a pretty nice skip off the turf and to the wall, and Ryan Zimmerman is at second base with 1 out. So we told you about the 4 home runs, 13 extra base hits now, as he racks up his 9th double of the season.
I think it was a fastball, caught it out front, and that hop you're talking about is big because Cespedes can throw. So if he cuts this ball off on a hop, it's not a guaranteed double for Ryan Zimmerman, but a bad angle by Cespedes makes it an easy double for Zimmerman, and there goes the no-hitter. 9th double of the year for Ryan.
Anthony Rendon, 3 for 7. A homer against Syndergaard.
Get him in the stretch, see what happens.
Eric Campbell way off the line at first. Walker tapping his glove to let Zim know he's close. Then he retreats. And that's low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Did you cut that New York in the field before the game, Bob?
Isn't that beautiful?
Nice job.
If I would have done that, there'd be a little W in there somewhere of the curly nature. That's 2-1.
If I'd have done that, it looked like hieroglyphics. Just be a bunch of zigzags, divots.
You play Rendon absolutely straight away. Rendon rims one to left. Zimmerman approaching third. He was watching Conforto get to the ball early. So corner situation with one out. And Wilson Ramos is next.
I think it was a slider right here from Syndergaard and speeds up the bat of Anthony Rendon. Catches it out front, crisp single to left, and too hard for Bob Henley to send Ryan Zimmerman. And now it's up to the Buffalo to catch up to one of these heaters and tie this game up or more.
Ramos 1 for 3 career against Syndergaard. And now Wilson, since coming back after that short spell on the bereavement list upon the passing of his grandfather, hitting .385 over his last 15 games. I think it's pretty simple here. Syndergaard's going to keep the ball down, looking for the ground ball. Wilson wants to elevate and pick up at least his 15th RBI.
And let him supply the power. It's so easy to say up here. It's so hard to do down there. It's all he has to do is touch a fastball, and it's going to be deep enough to score Ryan. And if you're Anthony Rendon, you can run. Terry Collins has pitched out twice this year with Noah Syndergaard. He pitched out once all of last season. So just to give you an example, the way to beat Noah Syndergaard is to run. Run until they tag you. Slow to the plate.
Ramos, there's the ground ball. And there goes the inning. So the Mets a homer by Granderson. The Nats strand a couple after 2 ringing base hits.
Scherzer the other day, he told me that he was looking forward to Monday's off day, not so much because of the heavy workload in his 20 strikeout game when he threw 119 pitches, but more so because of the Nationals' pitching schedule over the last few weeks. Scherzer's last 7 starts came on normal rest, and Max says that pitchers are typically fine with 3, 4, 5 consecutive starts on 4 days rest, but when they don't have an extra day mixed in for 6, 7, 8 straight outings, he says it can wear on them. Scherzer went max effort his last time out, as I mentioned, 119 pitches. He says he needed yesterday's off day because of that, but more because of the prior schedule, something that I guys hadn't really taken into account when it comes to starting pitchers.
That's Dan with a Coons.com sideline report. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting. First pitch, bottom of the second. The catcher, Kevin Plawecki, to Daniel Murphy for the first out.
Dan, that would have been a perfect headlines in the New York Post after Max's last start. Max effort, and then just put all the K's right on the front page.
There's Noah Syndergaard. Yeah, right-handed pitcher, but he bats left-handed. And he hit a couple of home runs his last time out at Dodger Stadium. So he's hit almost as many home runs, 2, as he's given up, 3.
First pitcher since Micah Owings did it in 2007. Thor with 2 his last start.
And then number 9 man is actually the third baseman, Matt Reynolds, who was just recalled today from New Orleans. One pitch, and pitching him like a regulation hitter with that breaking ball. Syndergaard has 3 career home runs. And a 1-2. 95 to follow up the breaking ball. Max Scherzer up to his old tricks. 5 men retired, 3 on strikes. Toyota K's for kids, so already 3 times $37 to the Children's Inn at the National Institutes of Health. And that's thanks to our Washington area Toyota dealers helping children and their families. There's Matt Reynolds. First pitch slider up in the zone a bit. 25 years of age. A second rounder 4 years ago is Reynolds.
They pointing at some sign behind home plate. Oh no, there's a baseball sitting there. Wilson Ramos just went over and picked up a baseball right in the S of the Mets logo that must have been sitting there for a minute. Like,
don't want that sitting there if you're going back on a foul pop. Off the end of the bat, out of play. Matt Reynolds was hitting at .238 with a couple of home runs at Las Vegas, the Mets AAA. They called him up with Duda sore. David Wright is sore. And they dropped Sean Gilmartin from the left side of their bullpen to open up that roster spot. All right. Averaging a measly 2 strikeouts per inning, Max Scherzer so far tonight. So after that homer, he has settled in.
what's wrong with this guy? Let's go.
Blow somebody away.
A leadoff home run by Curtis Granderson on the very first pitch for Max Scherzer. Friday, May 27, Ups in the Park. I love this one. It's the 3rd one of the year. It's presented by Budweiser. Proceeds from owner and dog tickets benefit the Washington Humane Society. Visit nationals.com/pups to purchase your ticket right now. They didn't bring their pups. He's a Yankees fan.
Yeah, we're even winning over Yankee fans.
And it looks like his son made him wear that hat. Like, all right, I'll wear it. I'm not rooting for the Mets, so yeah, I'll wear it.
Makes sense.
No way I'm rooting for the Mets.
Denny Espinosa, Max Scherzer, Ben Revere, top of the third. Shift on for Espinosa, mostly because Neil Walker is out in right field. But
well, he bunts to second. Maybe they're thinking he's not going to bunt 100 miles an hour, but if he wants to bunt like he has before, it's.
Reynolds way off the line at third.
It's a hit. You usually see second baseman cheating in on Danny Espinosa to take that bunt away.
One. Mets pitching staff. ERA 3.09, third in the league. Nationals 2.97, second behind the Cubs 2.64. Inside the numbers with Jeep. And we'll get to that in a moment. It'll be tough to score 7 runs for that pizza tonight. But here are the Nats and the Mets. Cubs right in the mix in a lot of those categories. Certainly winning percentage since they're 27-9. Not all their starters have won those. And that's a hard breaking ball down and in that strikes out Danny Espinosa. And that's 2 for Syndergaard. Next up is Max and then Ben Revere. Five for 18 with 3 RBIs this year. So he gets 99. Then the slider. He held.
And the Nats got Syndergaard last year at Nats Park, and it was when he was toying with a cutter, and he was working on it during the game, and the Nats really hit him hard, and since then he scrapped that pitch, and it's just fastball, slider, change.
Scherzer gets wood on it to the right side for Neil Walker. Well, as you mentioned, when Danny Espinosa was up there, tough to bunt 100. But FP, I got to admit, one of the questions I'm getting most from our fans right now is why does Ben Revere never bunt? Faster guys in the league, contact guy.
I don't know about Ben Revere, but during my career, if I wasn't hitting, I couldn't bunt. It was kind of all-inclusive.
Really?
I know that might sound weird, like, what, really? You couldn't bunt if you weren't hitting? Yeah, it's just kind of the same relaxation, and you're sitting there going, well, if I just get this down to hit, and you bunt it foul, you bunt it too hard. It's kind of how he's going to be when he finally starts getting on. Not a lot of rhythm or confidence in his base stealing abilities because he hadn't been out there. So it's all inclusive. Your whole game starts to get into your head, or maybe I'm just the mental case. I don't know.
Nats 2 for 9, first time through the order. The double play ball hurt last inning. Rivera bouncer, kind of a high chopper that Syndergaard picked off to start the game, and he threw him out. 1-1 to Ben, who's 4 for 44.
trying to think. I'm racking my brain. We saw him in Philadelphia all those years. If he ever really did base hit bunt.
Don't remember bunting that much.
I remember him trying to sacrifice a few times, and that didn't go very well, and I was shocked at it. But I don't remember him trying to bunt for a hit as a Philly for the times I've seen him play.
1 ball and 2 strikes here in the top of the 3rd. REVERE strikes out on a hard-breaking ball. Down and in. Syndergaard 3 strikeouts. Scherzer has 4. 1-0 Mets. Of the 2 no-hitter bobbleheads presented by PNC Bank. On May 23rd, first 25,000 fans receive piece number 1. Yeah, the Mets will be in town. We invite you to visit nationals.com/tickets and take home number 1 with more to come. Bottom of the 3rd, Granderson, Cabrera, Conforto.
Thinks he gets a fastball right here?
I don't think so. Not on the first one.
He got on top of that first pitch of the ball game.
Curtis Granderson. This guy's got some power, always has. And with his 7 home runs this year, 270 in his career. Couple of years in a row for the Yankees. 11 and 12. He had 41 and then 43.
He's the last batter he faced in the no-hitter, too. Popped up to 3rd.
Yeah. Looked like a changeup.
Pretty much the only guy in the lineup tonight that'll work the count. The rest of the Mets are real aggressive.
Scherzer didn't like how things felt, so he stepped off.
David Wright would have been the other guy that's not afraid to go deep into a count, but these guys hack.
October 3rd, right here last year.
Well, he's only given up 1 hit tonight, but that night 17 strikeouts, no walks, and here's the last out of the game to Yunel Escobar. I mean, it's hard to pick which one's best. It really is. I mean, that was one of the most dominant no-hitters you'll ever see. In an error away from a perfect game, potentially.
And remember the strikeouts in a row down the stretch. Double digits in a row. Here's ASDRUBAL Cabrera, struck out swinging first time.
The Milwaukee game, that game, or the last start. It's tough. The Pittsburgh game, I feel like he got a lot of help from his defense. There were some good plays made behind him. It was a no-hitter, which is, you know, scoreboard. But of those three, it's hard to pick one for me.
Chopper right side. Zimmerman, sidearm whip to short. Scherzer there to take the return from Danny Espinosa. A very well played 3-6-1 with great rhythm to that double play.
Yeah, good call, Carp. Not an easy double play by any means. A lot going on right there, and it was executed perfectly. This is a big league. This is how you're supposed to do it. Ryan Zimmerman comes off the bag, gets the big hop that feeds perfect to Espinosa. Max Scherzer covering with the stretch. They make it look easy sometimes, don't they? It's not an easy double play.
Scherzer, nice little stretch there at the end.
Look at him hustling, getting over there. Find the bag, pick up the ball.
Yeah, he wasn't ball watching to see what Zim was doing. So the bases are empty for Michael Conforto. He walked with one out in the first. Nats have turned 35 double plays this year. A lot of play left side. One hour and 18 minutes south of here by train. Phillies 1, Marlins nothing. Phils continue to amaze. They actually have more wins than the Mets, but they have one more loss, so they're in that virtual tie, a game and a half behind the Nationals. Two-one pitch. And a 2-2 with Cespedes on deck. Conforto was one of the few Mets who hit really well during the World Series. 5 for 15, couple of homers, 4 RBIs, 270 during the regular season, his first go round in the big leagues. Strokes that one to right. Harper drawing a beat on it, and it hits the top of the wall and goes out. That was deeper into the count, and the Mets lead 2-0 with the long balls.
So I think I mistakenly said 51 home runs on the year. It was 54. Make that 55 now for the Mets, and I believe they're in first place. They were tied with the Cardinals, and now this one puts them in first. Man, this team slugs. All about the homers, and I didn't see that coming at the beginning of the year.
And when this ballpark first opened, that was just an extra base hit or a fly out in that cutout out there in right field. They shortened that a couple of years ago. 2-0 Mets, and here's Cespedes, who's hit 12 of his own. And Max Scherzer has now given up 13 home runs. This one a mile high to the right side. Murphy pointing into the twilight. Bryce Harper lost it for a moment and then found it just in time. The double play prevents another run, and the Mets lead 2-0. run leading off the game. Conforto with 2 outs in the 3rd. Honda brings you our due-up to the top of the 4th. 2-3-4. So Jayson Werth, 11 of his last 15 ball games. Bryce Harper, yeah, that walk streak is alive. They got him first time swinging. And then Daniel Murphy, who's had only 6 hitless games all year.
So Jayson Werth hitting second tonight. I talked to Dusty before the game, trying to get him going. Higher in the order, maybe get some fastballs. But I just saw something online the other day that Anthony Rendon had 117 at-bats with nobody on, and that was tied for the lead in the major leagues. And this would have been his spot right here. So maybe Dusty wanted Anthony Rendon to hit with runners on to maybe, I don't know, give him a different look.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you have guys on, your concentration level's higher. You think about driving them in. But he's basically, Anthony has been a leadoff hitter this year so far.
So right now, about 5 out of every 6 of his at-bats, Rendon, there's nobody on base.
I like the thinking here. We'll see how it works, but I like Jayson higher in the order and maybe working some counts.
1-1. Syndergaard first 3 innings, 42 pitches, 29 strikes. Mets trying to break a 4-game losing streak. Terry Collins, long career before he finally tasted champagne on a couple of different occasions last year. Got his team to the World Series. Overwhelmed by that Kansas City team that was just playing such great baseball. Putting the bat on the ball, keeping the line moving. They pressured the Mets that whole series.
Yeah, good for Terry Collins. He's a good baseball man. And I would have sent Matt Harvey out too. Not that that matters, but I just think he made the right decision.
2-2. Big breaking ball. In fact, it was nowhere near being hit, and it was hard to catch. Here's Dan.
Bob, FP mentioned earlier Noah Syndergaard's issues controlling the running game. Runners attempting to steal this year on Syndergaard, 14 for 16, 88%. And Mets manager Terry Collins hinted to reporters that those numbers might affect the Mets' decision on whether to pitch around Bryce Harper tonight. You don't want to pitch around him, give him a free pass, see that turn into a double or a triple, essentially, by Harper stealing second or third pretty easily against Syndergaard.
I'll tell you this, if you throw 100 and you pitch around somebody, you should be fined by the league. I mean, you throw 90, okay, I get it. If you throw 100 and you pitch around somebody, I couldn't wrap my head around that one.
I think Bryce has a great chance to win the Joe Madden Award this year.
What's that?
Most pitched around batter in baseball. Just kidding, Joe. You did what you needed to do, and your team swept a 4-game series. That's a fastball at the knees, 0-2.
It was a 91-mile-an-hour changeup, partner. I don't blame you for missing that. 91 on the changeup. Changeup's harder than Strasburg's. It's like a BP fastball.
Harper against Syndergaard, 3 for 10 career. And paralyzed on a fastball, 100 miles an hour to the inside edge. He has struck out 4 of the last 5. Nissan will track it.
Did that run back at 100? Did he start that off the plate in and run it back? Hard to tell with that angle, but a perfect pitch by Noah Syndergaard to Bryce Harper.
Now they're going to boo Daniel Murphy. They gave him the pre-game ovation the first time up, and now he's the enemy. And welcome to New York.
Love the fans here. Love them.
I mean, Do they hand out flyers saying to do that?
No.
They all just know.
You don't have to in New York. These people have grown up with it generations. They know the game. They stand up with 2 strikes. They stand up in 3-1 counts. They know what you're hitting when you don't even know what you're hitting.
And they got a good second baseman to fill in. Neil Walker, a good pickup by the Mets. He's got power. Good guy in the clubhouse.
Fine tar on his hat.
They're standing. It's the 4th inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
My, how this place has changed since the last time we were here. A World Series. Fans in love with their Mets again. First 4 years we came here, it was a morgue.
Swinging a foul tip, and Murphy points to the ground to let the fans know he's still alive. Pointing to the baseball. Just serving one to stay alive.
Pretty good foul ball, if there's such a thing.
He's thinking the same thing.
I mean, if he gets a chance to get something better here, who fouls off a 92-mile-an-hour changeup?
Not everybody can do what he just did. Murphy gets jammed. Right center, it's going to drop. Neil Walker got a jump on it. Nothing he could do. And Daniel Murphy has his 57th hit of the year. And that'll keep him above 400.
I was talking to the Mets hitting coach Kevin Long today in batting practice. I said, when did you guys decide to get Daniel Murphy on the plate last year? He said they were playing the Yankees. In the pitch away to Murphy, he was just slapping into left. So they wanted to get him on the plate to make that pitch away be middle. And the pitch in, he could still handle and drive. And that's been the evolution of Daniel Murphy from a guy that just was a really tough out to now a number 4 hitter in the major leagues and a pretty effective 4 hitter protecting Bryce Harper.
And hitting almost 400 on the road as well. We chronicled his great success at Nationals Park up in the 450, 460 range most of the time. Ryan Zimmerman, double to left center, first time up.
When you move on the plate, you make the pitch on the black away as a left-hander middle, where you really had to reach for it before. You make the pitch down the middle, an inside pitch, and the pitch on the inside part of the plate, if you can still get to it, you're fine, and that's what Murphy did. So now that pitch that's on the outside is right down the middle for him, and he can drive versus just flip into left, which is what he used to do before he got on top of the dish.
Two and 0. Outfield straight away. Right center gap a little bit bigger than the other side, and that will be foul. When the Nats win and win big, that's 7 runs or more, you get 50% off. Regular menu price online orders at Papa John's. Enter promo code NATS50. It's valid at participating DMV Papa John's. Better pizza, better ingredients. Papa John's, official pizza of your Washington Nationals. 2-1. That is right in there with 98.
I think maybe in a 1-0 game, you've seen some action by now from Daniel Murphy, but in a 2-0 game, Dusty Baker, after a Ryan Zimmerman double his first time out, might be betting on the same or more. But now with 2 strikes, you feel like he has a better chance to go.
Got him. Jim Joyce thought about it for a moment. Ryan Zimmerman discusses looking across the big river toward the west. It's the Big Apple and the Mets on top 2-0.
Bringing the lumber. This is what they do, folks. There's home run number 54 on the year. That would tie them for the National League lead. And here's home run number 55 on the year. That would give them the National League lead. So they strike out a lot, but they also hit a lot of homers. Besides those 2 pitches, Max Scherzer has been great here again tonight.
45 pitches, 26 strikes through 3. Neil Walker, Eric Campbell, Kevin Plawecki, 5-6-7 for New York. Goes with the first pitch changeup. Walker struck out swinging first time. Second out of the first inning. Then he turns it up to 94. On a pitch up. Danny Espinosa backpedaling. Oh, it's Rendon. Anthony at the shortstop position on the Swift. And had to get out there pretty far to grab that one.
You could grab some food from anywhere around the world on Saturday, May 28th, 7:15 against the Cardinals. We all love the Cardinals. Pre-game food festival. Enjoy some drinks, bite-sized delights. Gift with a purchase, you get salt and pepper shakers. Go to nationals.com/taste. Get your tickets. There's
that's a taste of Queens.
Obligatory food shot out of that promo.
Check swing and a foul by Eric Campbell. Campbell robbed of an RBI and a hit by Daniel Murphy. And look at the zip on that fastball. Low in the zone.
I wonder what the food's like here at Citi Field. Is it good?
We get a thumbs up from the crew?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Okay. Well, that was quick. Mac, a couple of off-speed pitches, the fastball in between, and that will be his 5th strikeout of the night.
Changeup has been Max Scherzer's best friend here tonight against the Mets so far.
Catcher Kevin Plawecki is next.
Excuse me, Carp. Last start it was his slider, and it was the best one I've ever seen him have. He threw it 31% of the time. That's the most he's thrown it all season.
One to the Mets catcher. Boy, that is a biting, nasty late breaker. Mercedes-Benz will track a slider.
Check it out one more time. Talk to hitters, they have serious trouble picking that pitch up. Why? Because it's hard to see the rotation, and he hides the ball so well with his crossfire angle, his glove coming at you.
Then he goes changeup to strike him out. Scherzer keeping the Mets close. And the 4th inning of Nationals baseball brought to you by the RAV4 Hybrid. All-wheel drive unexpected performance. Visit buyatoyota.com tonight.
I'm getting dizzy.
Right before you take a ride on the Masson Chopper. You buy T-Mobile. Clayton Kershaw on a big-time strikeout streak. 5 starts in a row with at least 10. Look at the average, almost 13 per. Cubs dominating the Brewers. 90 miles apart, but worlds apart, it seems. Freddie Gonzalez let go today by the Braves. Brian Snitker promoted from the minor league system. He was a former player and coach with the Braves. And some other changes to that coaching staff as well. Carlos Tosca, the bench coach, also let go. So the Braves celebrated that, by the way, by giving up 7 early to the Pirates and now trailed 9-3.
Yeah, we all know it was Freddie Gonzalez's fault. As we go to the top of the 5th, 2-0, our Washington, D.C. Lexus dealers are donating $250 to the Children's National Health System for every home run an Nats player hits this season. So keep them coming. It's for a wonderful cause. Lexus, the pursuit of perfection.
9-28 are the Atlanta Braves. And they, you know, the organization pretty much blew up that team. They're building for the future, their new ballpark next year. But you knew Freddie Gonzalez might have a problem when somebody from the front office was quoted during the offseason as saying, I think this team can win 80 games. Oops.
Here, Freddie.
Yeah.
Be the captain of the Titanic.
There's the East. Braves still looking for double-digit wins. Phillies still ahead, 1-0 in their ball game at home against Miami, 4th inning. Rendon on a big breaking ball strikes out. So we've seen 100 and we just saw 80 miles an hour. Nissan will track.
Well, what you're seeing the second time around, Noah Syndergaard going to some of his off-speed stuff. And I said earlier, if he gets that off-speed over for a strike and he's throwing 100, good luck. Just not fair right now.
Wilson Ramos is next. Nats at first and third, 1 out in the second in a 1-run game. And Wilson bounced into a 4-6-3 double play.
When you're facing 100, there's no other thought in your mind as a hitter. It's, I got to get down early. I got to get the barrel out. Sometimes you have to cheat and start earlier than normal to get the barrel out. And if he throws anything else but that, he's got you. I mean, it's tough to lay off because you're pretty much already starting your swing for the fastball.
Last 5 outs on strikeouts. He has struck out 6 of the last 8 batters. And that's picked in the dirt by Plawecki. He'll throw that ball out. Lays off. It's 3-1.
I don't know if that sports science guy's ever done the difference between 96 and 97, 98 and 99. I mean, every mile an hour after you get over 95 is such a huge difference to a hitter in feet per second.
So kind of like the Richter scale.
Yeah.
Every number you add, it's a quantum leap.
Even though, yes, even though it's a small amount on the scoreboard, the difference between 95 and 97 for a hitter is ridiculous. The difference between 90 and 91, whatever, 90 and 92, yeah. But you start getting the mid to upper 90s and triple digits, the difference between 97 and 100. 3 more miles an hour at that rate in your reaction time as a hitter. It's darn near impossible, Carp. It really is. You just got to get lucky. Hope he throws one right down the middle. I'm swinging on this pitch, and you barrel up the baseball.
Danny Espinosa trying to get it to Max Scherzer here in the 5th. Bunt attempt is foul.
Guarantee it's higher than that tonight. I don't think he's thrown a fastball 97 yet. Maybe one. He's been between 98 and 100 all night long.
And Steven Strasburg. Changeup 89 to 90. Curveball. I mean, guys that are just so hard to center the ball, much less catch up at times. Here's the 0-1. And when he throws that to left-handed batters, nasty. We saw him do it to Bryce Harper. He tried to do it to Daniel Murphy. Murph fought off a couple, got a base hit. Dusty waiting for his offense to get things going. Tough night for that.
That one cut.
One and two. Off speed, and Danny Espinosa chopping it foul. 5 innings of 3-hit shutout ball by Noah Syndergaard.
Tonight, Max Scherzer coming off his 20 strikeout performance. Has been great so far. Gave up a couple of home runs, but he has 6 strikeouts. So 26 strikeouts his last 2 starts at County. And Noah Syndergaard, maybe because of who he's pitching against, has decided to break out some strikeouts himself tonight. He just had 6 his last start against the Dodgers, but he has 8 here so far tonight. He's been great.
Yeah, he went 8 innings in that game on 95 pitches. He'll lead off here. Scherzer struck him out. Victim number 3 for the second out of the second inning. Matt Reynolds next, and then the top of the order, Curtis Granderson. A strike up in the zone on the curveball.
So Syndergaard has only gone over 100 pitches once this year. They're trying to bring him along slowly. 76 right now. So for Max, you're thinking just keep it 2-0. Maybe my ball club can get into the Mets bullpen and do some damage. And you figure the way Syndergaard's pitching tonight, that's the recipe for success for the Nationals.
Yeah. 76 pitches for him, by the way, through 5. 53 strikes. So Max Scherzer's opponent averaging 15 pitches per inning. Max is just under that. And that's a swing and a miss. Number 7. And he's fanned 3 in a row. PNC for the Achiever in You takes us inside some numbers. We'll update the strikeout leaders. Max made a quantum leap last time out, obviously. Steven Strasburg on the list. We'll see him Wednesday night here against Matt Harvey. Gio and Bartolo Colon, the most famous new home run hitter in baseball, tomorrow night.
Max 6 strikeouts away from tying the 2-game record.
Well, he's got it going on right now. Struck out Matt Reynolds swinging for the 3rd out, 2nd inning. Oh, and 2. Reynolds getting time from Jim Joyce. Hits one to right. It's on a line to Bryce Harper. 2 outs. Simply overpowered the right-handed batter. Granderson now, perfect night, a home run and a walk. Last year, the Mets won the season series from the Nationals 11-8. The Nats won 5 out of 10 here, but the Mets won 6 out of 9 at Nationals Park. Henderson now 2 career homers against Max, 4 RBIs, 6 walks, 8 for 24. And the changeup under the hands of the hitter, but inside. Quite a hook. Two-two. Scherzer to lead off in the 6th. And Granderson, good job of staying alive. Curtis Granderson coming off a couple of years here with the Mets, where he's hit 46 home runs total, 136 RBIs. And we were here early in the season in 14 when he first started as a Met, and he got off to a horrible start. And they were all over him here. It took a while, but he's won them over. That's outside, 3-2. 60 doubles the last 2 years.
I'll tell you what, for a guy hitting 206, he's giving Max Scherzer the best at-bats of the night. First pitch ambush to start the game up with a homer, then a walk, and now this at-bat. This is an 8-pitch and counting battle.
And he gets a walk, and he's on for the 3rd time. It's a 6-game trip, so here's the next 5. Bartolo and Gio tomorrow, Strasburg and Harvey on Thursday, and then it's on to Miami. Fox will have the Saturday night game. That's a 7:15 first pitch, so we'll be with you from Marlins Park Friday night and Sunday afternoon, and WUSA 9 will join us Sunday.
Gio doing his homework.
Lobatone talking pitching right there. Here's ASDRUBAL Cabrera, strikeout, double play ball. Pop up, it's out of play.
I'm talking to some of the Mets coaches today during batting practice, and they were saying how ASDRUBAL's been a serious upgrade at shortstop, making all the plays, making it look easy. A lot of the same things Nats fans saw when he was playing second base for them in 2014. We were astounded by his glove work at second on a nightly basis.
Yeah, not his natural position either.
No, some of the softest hands you'll ever see.
And you might look back at that year offensively and say, wow, he wasn't very good. He hit 229, but he had 21 RBIs in 49 games. So he was a clutch hitter. The timing of his hits was often just what the Nationals needed.
Yeah, I remember a lot of big hits.
Had 11 extra base hits besides the 5 homers he hit. 0-1 with 2 outs and time given. ASDRUBAL went 3 for 15 with a homer and a couple of RBIs against the Giants in the division series. Traded to the Nats for Zach Walters on July 31st of 14. Max spinning the curveball into the dirt.
Got me in my computer now trying to find out where Zach Walters is.
Haven't heard much about him. A little bit of this, a little bit of that with the Indians since that deal.
I think he got traded again.
1-1 with 2 outs.
It's with the Dodgers. For all those of you out there that were dying to know.
Two-one pitch with 2 outs. It's a great changeup right to the inside edge.
Do you remember before Google search when things just used to drive you crazy all day that you couldn't remember?
You couldn't find it.
And you'd sit there just like banging your head against the wall going, oh, I know it's on the tip of my tongue.
You'd call your dad.
Kids don't even know what that is now. If you have like memory loss or something's bugging you, you just pick up your phone and search it.
So if things are bugging me, I can take care of that?
Yeah. You didn't know about this thing called Google?
Yeah, but
I
thought it was for looking up things. I didn't know it was about things that were
but you know, if
bugging
somebody says, oh, who sung that one song that I used to like? And
38 years ago. I got it.
And you just say, oh, I can't remember. I know what you're talking about. And you just search it now. Like, for instance, Zach Walters. Where's he at? He's 2 seconds with the Dodgers. That would have drove me crazy all night.
Yeah.
No sleep at all.
We would have had him with the Toledo Mud Hens.
I would have been wandering down the streets of Manhattan saying, where's Zach Walters all night? So see, it just doesn't happen anymore.
Sounds to me like for some Google's a lifesaver.
It is.
2-2 pitch. Outside. Conforto on deck. Talk about working the pitcher. Granderson and Cabrera. These guys are going to be responsible for 20 pitches by the time they get done trying to close out this 5th inning. Runner going. He really slowed down his bat with that 80-mile-an-hour breaking pitch. Ben Revere has it. And that's it for the Mets in the 5th. Time to get busy. But it's still just 2-0.
There's your Mercedes-Benz game summary brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Arlington. Visit them at www.justmercedes.com. We just showed you the highlights. A couple of home runs has been the difference in this game. Both pitchers have been outstanding. Syndergaard just a tad better.
Syndergaard 77 pitches right now, 54 strikes. Max is at 79, 48 strikes through his 5 innings of work. Ground ball to the right side, first time. The Nats had one chance early to score, and a double play ball took care of that. They haven't had a runner beyond first base since then. That was Murphy with a bloop hit in the 4th inning.
That might have been the first bad pitch that Syndergaard's thrown all night. Just spun an 88-mile-an-hour slider up there, and it fooled Max because it didn't break.
That one did. Strikeout number 9. Nats box, 3 hits, 2 runners stranded. Zimmerman a 1-out double to left center in the 2nd. Rendon rammed a base hit to left. Ryan had to stop at 3rd. Then the Ramos double play ball. The only other hit, the aforementioned Murphy flare to right center. 2 outs, 4th inning. Since then, 5 in a row by Syndergaard. So he's retired 11 of the last 12. Rivera bouncer and a strikeout. That looked like 96 with sink on it.
I'm telling you, hang around till he gets to 100. Keep it 2-0. If you can chip away and maybe get 1 run before he gets out of here, great. If not, right now in 6th inning, work on getting his pitch count up the best you can. It's easy to say up here, not easy to do down there.
And he's not really falling behind anybody right now.
I'm not saying the Mets bullpen is not good. It's just not what's on the mound right now.
It's a great 0-2 pitch. Jim Joyce called it off the plate, and Revere fights to a 1-2 count. That's a great job of guiding a breaking ball the opposite way, and Ben Revere is 1 for 3.
All right, game on. Nice piece of hitting by Ben Revere. He got speed on the bases. Syndergaard doesn't hold runners well. Look for Revere to be aggressive. Nice inside-out swing. And maybe that's the hit that gets Ben Revere going. Nice at-bat. Let's see if he takes off.
Revere 0 for 1 stealing. A lot of hitting room right side. Should Worth choose to go there.
And maybe, just maybe, Noah Syndergaard starts to worry about Ben Revere more than he should in the 2-0 game. Let's see.
Odd thing about this game, the Nats have 2 times as many hits as the Mets. Ben Revere 176 career steals. There he goes. And he is out. Kevin Plawecki got rid of it in a hurry. The count to Worth 1-1. Revere late in leaving the bag. You know, the Nationals clubhouse. Video crew going to take a look at this one.
I don't know. He looks safe from here, but we're a long ways away. Chris Spire on the horn. Ben Revere sliding toward the back of the bag. Did his hand get there before the tag? I don't know. What do you got for me? I mentioned that when you haven't been on base for a while and you're a base stealer, it takes you a minute to get into your flow out there and get your rhythm. And that's so close. I don't know. I had a couple guys in the booth saying safe right now. I got a couple guys saying out. And as Nats fans know, I have no clue on these. I really don't. I'm the worst broadcaster in history when it comes to replay reviews. We need to go to the replay review thing so I can see what they're looking at. Maybe that'll help me out. Get me out of my slump.
Next time we're here, maybe there's a night off.
Or a day off?
I don't know. I'm just going to start saying I don't know. I don't know.
Crowd trying to sell it, but with every replay, they get a little less convinced.
We should have some sort of Twitter poll on the broadcast during these and see what fans think. And just give your honest opinion. Not, you know, take your attitude hat off and give your honest opinion on what you think. Because you got a better chance of knowing than I do.
This one taking a while.
All right, what do you got here? I can't tell where his hand is. Because the dirt's blocked in his hand, right?
Yeah, the dirt just explodes.
I don't know that there's enough to overturn it. I'd love to tell you he's safe, but I don't know. You know, with Syndergaard grabbing a baseball, he can throw some pitches.
He should.
A couple text messages saying safe. I appreciate all the love and all the help. What do you got?
Out.
So now opposing base stealers 14 of 17 off Noah Syndergaard. That's the third time a base stealer's been thrown out this year while Syndergaard's been pitching. Good swing by Ben Revere. I don't know that he got his best jump.
Now it's 2 outs, bases empty, and Bryce Harper might not bat in the inning. This happens every time, doesn't it?
Every time.
Guy gets thrown out on the bases, and the next guy gets a hit. So Harper will bat. Let's go inside the numbers. From Jeep, our number 3 hitter, their number 4 hitter. So those are the numbers the big power guys put up. Brought to you by Jeep. And for pitchers, they are very offensive at times.
The Mets fans obviously did not like Bryce Harper's performance on Jimmy Fallon last night. They just booed him.
Vociferously. He's 0 for 2 tonight.
Yeah, what he said. Careful right here. This might be an instance when you pitch around Bryce Harper if you throw 100. He touches one, it's a tie ball game.
Murphy next. He's 1 for 2 tonight.
Yes.
Got a
green
2-0.
light.
Oh, sure.
All the way, right?
Got a 2-0 slider right there. Oh, yeah.
Did you just give him a sign?
Two nothing Mets. Top of the 6th. That ball was tailing to the outer half.
I don't think Bryce liked that, but it gives him a chance. I don't know if he gets a strike here 3-1, but he's still hitting.
Change up 91. You're going to see this place go crazy now. Mercedes-Benz will track it.
Pretty good pitch. Maybe the best pitch of the night by Syndergaard. Look at the movement on that 91. Bryce Harper all in on the heater, got the change, and this place, as you just said, is going nuts.
Down and in with a slider. Noah Syndergaard, strikeout number 10. And the Mets still lead 2-0. Coming to town. Well, Murphy and the Nats will be waiting for the Mets. Their first visit to Nationals Park this year. 3-game series, visit nationals.com. Get your tickets now, check out locations. Where best to watch Daniel Murphy slug from when New York comes in next week. Mets and Cardinals on that next homestand, by the way. Here's the Mets box score. Granderson homer leading off the first. Conforto, after the double play ball, 2 outs in the third. They're only hits. Max Scherzer about to throw his 80th pitch.
Is he okay? Little reset, caught a cleat.
Yeah, probably. Better to shut it down. So he just drops the curveball, and he's gone to that curve a little more in the last inning or two.
Tell you what, Syndergaard has the best stuff I've seen from an opponent all season tonight here. By far. There's nobody that the Nats have faced even close to the stuff they're seeing here tonight from Syndergaard.
Yeah, we thought we might see it from Jake Arrieta, but he was having a kind of a weird timing day when the Nats faced him.
They've stood behind it and watched it, but they've never been in the batter's box and seen what they're seeing tonight from Syndergaard.
Great pitch. Got the 0-1 changeup inside and then strikes out Conforto, reaching. That's number 8 for Max.
A 3-pitch see ya, and like I said, the changeup has been Max's best friend here tonight. It's been awesome.
Tumbling action on that replay from center field. YOENIS Cespedes. 5th inning took a while. There was a strikeout and a walk, and that's thanks to Granderson and Cabrera. Max was heading for a quick inning until Curtis Granderson got in there. Bolt of a fastball at 94. Cespedes 0 for 1, hit by a pitch. Fly ball to right. Late for that. Max shuts it down again. High in the air right side. Ryan Zimmerman making the early call and waving everybody off. 2 outs. For the achiever in you, how about some insight from PNC? When you have it, you know how to handle your finances with confidence. Brought to you by PNC Bank. Trevor Gott of the Syracuse Chiefs. And of course, he's a guy with big league experience who put up a good showing during spring training. So far, so good for him. And if right-handed help is needed, we've got it. Waiting at AAA.
You had that line set up in spring training if you made the team. And now you just finally got to use it because we showed him on the minor league report. I see you working.
Yeah, but I can't say it twice because that was Souza's line. That ball out of play the other way from Neil Walker. Strikeout, pop up to third. Max Scherzer in full cruise control here in the middle of the ball game. It just seems the way Noah Syndergaard's pitching, it's more than 2-0. But you've made the point about his pitch threshold. The Nats got him to 93 in that 6th inning. Shift on Murphy in short right field. Nasty. Absolutely nasty. 2 Ks in the inning, 9 in the game. Daniel Murphy 1 for 2. He'll lead off in the 7th. Stay tuned for the booze.
Murphy is returning to play his former organization today. Murphy got his NL championship ring earlier today. The Mets played a tribute video to him on the Jumbotron before the game started. Murphy said he's always going to feel like he's got a little bit of the Mets organization a part of him. That'll never really wash off because he spent 10 years in the organization. But he said he feels more like a Nat every single day. And he had a great line. He said, once the tribute video ends and 7:10 tonight starts, it's prison rules out there. I don't really know what prison rules means, but he clearly wants to beat his former ball club.
Well, let's hope we never find out, Dan. With our Coons.com sideline report, over 2 million vehicles sold and counting. I think the Mets fans handled it perfectly, as we talked about. Pre-game video, yay. First time up, yay. Second time up, you're a bum. They booed him, and he promptly dropped a single into right center. Murphy hits this one hard, but it's right at Neil Walker, who replaces him at second base. Zimmerman and Rendon the next two.
Prison rules mean you make like a shank out of your bat. I'm trying to figure that one out.
I don't know. Like I said, let us never find out. Nats have put hits together twice tonight. Double play took care of that in the second. The caught stealing last inning. Ryan 1 for 2 with that front end of the 2 in a row back in the second. A double to left center. So against Noah Syndergaard, Zimmerman 1 for 5 career. '97 here in the 7th.
On pitch number 97.
Yeah. Ryan had a mini dispute with Jim Joyce last time up after a strike 3 call. It's close. Got a hack. Well, tonight the Nats not benefiting from any walks. When they do, it's $50 to support Girls on the Run DC. $7,200 right now. So take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Go for a walk, says Care First, Blue Cross Blue Shield. Two-two pitch. Zimmerman, well hit, but right at the right fielder, Granderson. Ryan's had 2 good contacts tonight. Next up, Rendon.
Follow Nats Baseball live with the MLB.com @BAT app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live video highlights, and StatCast. Download MLB.com @BAT, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet.
Here's Rendon. He puts a charge into one to center. Cespedes going back, racing to the baseball. And now Syndergaard giving up some shots, but right at people. All 3 balls in that top of the 7th were well hit. Is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. Citi Field, Queens, Flushing, New York. Bottom of the 7th. They've just stretched. They're back in their seats, some of them, and here we go with Campbell, Plawecki, Syndergaard scheduled. The Mets bullpen is busy. He's thrown 102 pitches. Max is at 91 with 57 strikes. Campbell, ground ball to Murphy, robbed of a hit and an RBI back in the first, and a swinging strikeout second time around in the 4th inning. Addison Reed, a former closer, their primary right-hand setup guy for Juris Familia. And a familiar left-hander at times helps set up. That's Antonio Bastardo, the former Philly. Scherzer to Campbell, 1-2, and there's Oliver Perez. Max is due to bat 3rd in the top of the 8th. So empty the tank time?
Yeah, absolutely. And even if he strikes out the side, I don't think he'll match that 2-game strikeout record. He won't shot, right?
Slider and changeup were good. Couple of curveballs here and there. That is nasty on the slight piece. And that's number 10. So Max Scherzer into double-digit strikeouts for the 2nd time this year.
So make that 30 strikeouts in his last 2 starts. And he always talks about after the game, it's not how I start, it's how I finish. Struck out 2 last inning. Struck out 3 of the last 4 he's faced.
Nissan tracking an impossible slider to hit.
And I think if you would have told him before the game that, hey, you're going to give up 2 solo home runs and that's it tonight, he would have liked his chances.
Take it, yeah. That one hanging a bit. Plawecki didn't hit it particularly well. Sounded like a busted bat. And that's only the Mets' 3rd hit of the night. And now we'll see what they do with a good batsman coming in, guy who can handle the stick. Alejandro De Aza, now Sean Kelly joining Oliver Perez. So Syndergaard done after 7. No runs on 5 hits. Struck out 10 himself, didn't walk a batter.
Dusty Baker not moving a muscle, but now he's sending Wilson Ramos to talk to Max Scherzer, and I wonder if this is a stall piece to get Oliver Perez in the game. Mike Maddox just ran for the phone in the Nats dugout to see if he was ready. Do they go left on left matchup here, and is this the end of the night for Max Scherzer? Baker's still in his seat in the dugout. And here he comes.
Alejandro De Aza, a 171 hitter. So that'll be it for Max. 6 1/3. So he's gone at least 6, 7 times this year. And De Aza, a guy who can muscle up occasionally, but primarily a contact guy.
Trying to stay in. Baker hasn't motioned to the bullpen yet. He's asking Max what he's got, and that's it.
That's it for Max. 10 strikeouts, 3 hits over 6 1/3. Another very good performance. Couple of home run balls got him up to the bullpen. A hit batter, a double play, gave up 3 hits in 6 1/3, and his offense not able to do anything against Noah Syndergaard. Oliver Perez, another former Met they love to boo here. He signed a big contract here, then they didn't get a whole lot out of him. 15 games, 3.60 ERA, 13 strikeouts, 6 walks, 8 hits in 10 innings.
2 pitches, fastball, slider, who knows where they're coming from. And a tip of the cap to Max Scherzer after that 20 strikeout performance. You just wondered what you see from him here tonight, and he was better than I thought he'd be. I thought that game would take so much out of his tank, but he's in such top condition. He works so hard between his starts. And 2 pitches he wishes he could have had back. But like I said before, if you asked him, hey, I'm going to give up 2 runs tonight, that's it.
Think he'd have a chance to win.
He would have taken that.
Alejandro De Aza, 31 years of age, 267 career hitter. Good part of his career with the White Sox. That ball gets away from Ramos, but no advancement by the runner. Tough to see a ball in traffic in there sometimes.
It's a good stat.
It's retiring the first batter and that stat, the 2 best probably for a reliever. De Aza, 2 for 5 career against him. Flips a foul ball out of play left side.
Well, the good news is Noah Syndergaard's done for the night if you're in the third base dugout. I don't care who you bring in after that as a hitter, it's going to look a little bit bigger.
Fastball fouled back. Oliver Perez at the age of 34, still throwing in the 90s. And a guy who throws upper 90s from the left side, Felipe Rivero, has now joined Sean Kelly. So this is the pitcher's spot. Matt Reynolds, right-handed batter on deck. Could be a 1-hitter appearance by Oliver. And I don't know if Alejandro tried to take that one in the back, but he wasn't exactly moving away from it. Breaking ball off the plate in there. Swing and a miss on a big sweeping 79 curveball, 2 outs.
Frisbee right here, drop down, slider. Started off the plate in and ended up off the plate away.
What's a hitter to do? Here's Matt Reynolds facing Perez for the first time.
That was the quick pitch delivery. See that? Mets have a few pitchers that'll quick pitch, Robles and Familia.
Fastball up to the rookie Reynolds. He's from the same high school in Oklahoma that has produced Charlie O'Brien, who is a very good defensive big league catcher. Another catcher for the Reds and Cubs, Rick Rona, and Dallas Keuchel, who won the Cy Young for Houston last year. A ball club that is struggling mightily this year. And that's Bishop Kelly High School in Tulsa, Oklahoma, 4 big leaguers.
What do you know about Oklahoma?
It's where the wind comes whipping down the plain.
I just know there's lots of earthquakes.
Chopper to third. On the charge, Rendon. If an infielder can get a great jump on a ball, Anthony just did that. We're going top 8. Ramos, Espinoza, and then a hitter for Perez. Good job by Oliver.
tonight. This fastball 98. Look at the run back on that. Impossible. This fastball 99 paint to Ryan Zimmerman. This one 100 to Bryce Harper paint. So power plus command. And I think power might be an understatement for Thor tonight. He sat between 98 and 100 all night long.
Addison Reed had a 3-year span with the White Sox and the Diamondbacks. 2012, 13, 14, 29, 40, and 32 saves the last year with Arizona. And right now he's a setup guy for these Mets.
Yeah, really two pitches, fastball, slider. Fastball average is 92, slider 86. And I think this is the inning you do it if you're the Nats.
Yeah, Familia is 12 for 12 in save opportunities. Their closer. First up, Wilson Ramos. 0 for 1 career against Addison Reed. 19th game with a 2.81 ERA. Fastball ripped, but right to the shortstop as ASDRUBAL CABRERA. Nats are down to their final 5 outs.
Pete Nats are in town May 24th through the 30th. Tons of promotions down there at the Fitz like they always do. Tickets are going fast. To get yours, call the number on the screen or go to the website.
PotomacNationals.com.
It's there every night. If you don't know it by now, I can't help you.
Danny Espinosa 1 for 1 with a home run against Addison Reed. On deck, it's not Stephen Drew. It's not Clint Robinson. We'll show you in a moment. It's Michael A. Taylor, who's 2 for 3 with a home run against this pitcher. Was that in Arizona? Was that the Grand Slam?
It was.
The night he replaced Bryce Harper? And Michael was not supposed to be in the lineup. Dusty didn't see that in person, but he knows all about it.
You got a little cheat sheet down there. He makes little notes on his lineup card for little things like that. You know, if they're ahead, who's got numbers against this guy? Who's got numbers against this guy? He's got it right there on his lineup card.
Every time he gets to 2 strikes, Mets fans start buzzing. Swing and a miss. Danny Espinosa has struck out swinging 3 times tonight. Now the out countdown to 4. And here's Michael A. Jerry Blevins is also one of their situational guys who helps set things up. Maybe if it gets to Revere, certainly if it gets to Harper. But the 9th inning would be Familia's.
Drinks right, throws left.
Taylor as a pinch hitter, 0 for 2.
Saw something on the internet the other day for Odor that said bats left, throws a nasty right hook.
That was a baseball punch. They're on their feet in New York. Fastball inside. 36,701 tonight. And now the Nats have struck out 12 times in this one. To the bottom of the 8th, it's all New York in their pitching, 2-0. By American Standard Heating and Air. It's their all-star sales event with up to $1,100 in instant rebates or 0% APR for 36 months. By your Washington, D.C. BMW centers. Visit WashingtonDCBMW.com tonight for exceptional offers. And by University of Maryland, University College. Lady Liberty. Cool evening, but a nice evening in New York. 59 at game time. Felipe Rivero now to face Granderson, Cabrera, and Conforto. Bottom of the 8th.
Trying to keep it a 2-0 game. A couple lefties coming up. Fastball mid to upper 90s. Slider in the 80s, and the changeup has been real good for Felipe this year.
Curtis Granderson against Felipe Rivero. 0 for 2. Pardon me, 0 for 3 and now 1 for 4. Well, he likes to ambush early in the count. With more on Felipe, here's Dano.
Pulled a little bit of late. He told me the other day that he's noticed a mechanical issue. It happened when he was watching film a couple weeks ago that he picked up on it. He saw that his arm angle is lower than it was last year, causing the ball to run, his location to be off. He says he's been trying to get more on top of the ball lately. It's a work in progress. Although it's harder for relievers to make that type of a mechanical fix than a starter. They don't know when they're going to throw. They don't get typical bullpen sessions like starters do. So Felipe has been trying to make the fix, get on top of the ball more, and not get that arm slot down.
Here's ASDRUBAL Cabrera. Thanks, Dan. Something to keep an eye on. Lefty-righty matchup.
Generally speaking, the way you fix it is just stay back. What does that mean? Just stay over the rubber as long as you can. Kind of hover on that backside. What happens when you lose your release point? You're jumping at the hitter and your arm's trailing. So in order to get on top, just slow everything down a little bit. Stay back.
Cabrera came into this game tonight remarkably consistent from both sides of the plate. But that was a double play ball that the Nationals tried to turn. Anthony Rendon gave Daniel Murphy a sidearm whip that almost got the ball into right field. Murphy able to recover and make it close.
I think Anthony Rendon had a little more time here with Cabrera running. Nats fans know that Cabrera is not the fastest guy in the world, and Murphy did a nice job just to get the force out at second. That throw crossed him up, so to speak. He was thinking it was going to be on one side of the bag, and it almost went into center field. And do the Nats have a challenge? What are they waiting for here?
Yeah, they don't have one.
I mean, they're looking in the dugout like they want to challenge it, but they don't have one. Or are they talking about the neighborhood play?
The runner going to second.
The slide at second.
You know, but
was Murphy on the bag?
On a throw like that takes your guy way off the bag, hard to penalize the runner.
I don't think the play matters. Everyone was saying the other night that if the runner's safe at first, it's irrelevant. And so is, he's clearly out at first.
But if it's a play at first, who's challenging?
Could be an umpire's review this late. They have the authority to do that on their own.
Yeah,
Slide's perfect.
I didn't see anything about the runner.
So if you're out of challenges, you can politely ask for them to check it out on their own in inning 7, 8, and 9.
I guess, you know, it's kind of like that crew chief challenge, like the home run ball we had at Nationals Park the other day.
It's like, I'm out of money. Can you spare me $1?
Yeah.
I'll pay you back a challenge tomorrow.
You better be right or you're in big trouble.
See Dusty Baker reaching for his back pocket. So I'm out of challenges. I'll pay you guys back tomorrow.
Well, if they're challenging the call at first, it shouldn't really take this long. Yeah, it's a double play. Ryan Zimmerman stayed on the bag. So the Nats, without a challenge, get a challenge in a double play.
I mean, that wasn't even close at first. How do you miss that in the first place is the real question.
Yeah, Marvin Hudson, the umpire over there.
And once again, so focused on the outcome of the play, give Daniel Murphy tons of credit and Ryan Zimmerman tons of credit for turning what should have been a routine double play. That was nicely done by both parties.
Yeah, there might have been some second baseman who said, okay, I caught that throw. I got one out.
Yeah.
Let's shut it down. But Murph went for two, and they end up getting it.
Nice turn.
Conforto facing Rivero first time. Phillies now lead 3-0 bottom of the 7th. We could have 3 teams within a half game of each other at the end of the night if that result and this one hold up. Breaking ball, hit a ton out to left center. Worth is there to make the grab in front of the wall. Felipe Rivero, a hit, a double play ball, top of the order. Ben Revere, Jason Worth, Bryce Harper, and their closer Familia, 12 for 12. Two and 1 with a 1.93 ERA, and against the Mets 9-4 with a 2.66. Countering is Bartolo Colon, and against the Nats he's started 8 times, 9 appearances, 3-5 with a 3.17. Johnny and Ray begin it with Nats Extra at 6:30 tomorrow night. Speaking of that dynamic duo, you know, they've got Harvey and Syndergaard. We've got our own Knight and Thor back in the studio. They're coming up next with the Who But WB Mason. Nats Extra postgame.
You went a long way for that one.
Yeah, that was a stretch.
Yeah, that was a super stretch. Johnny Holliday has never been called Thor in his life.
Ray's Thor.
Oh, all right.
Lagares in center. Cespedes moves to left. Juan Lagares, one of the great defensive outfielders in the National League. Here's Familia. Ben Revere, 3 for 11 career against him.
Velocity down this year. Fastball averaging 95, last year 97. Slider 85, last year was 89. But the split is what I think separates Familia from everybody else. It averages 95 miles an hour. And I believe he threw Bryce Harper some splits last year that were 98.
Ugh. Can't imagine.
can throw strikes, blooping a bomb away from tying this thing up.
Two 2-0 Mets. 2-4-0 New York. 0-5-0 Washington. Nats haven't had a hit though since the 6th inning. Swing and a miss, and Revere now 2-2. Then a clean base hit to left last time. It was with 1 out in the 6th. He was caught stealing despite a Nats challenge, and then Worth singled. No offense since. Tapper right side, well fouled.
That was a split in '96.
Six-year-old closer who had 43 saves last year and a 1.85 ERA. That's too tall for Ben Revere's strike zone.
When he was the setup guy for Mejia, I was saying to myself that he should be the closer, because I thought he had better stuff in the 8th inning than the Mets' old closer had in the 9th. Huge pitch.
Well, Revere fouled it off his body. All over the place are the pitches in this very long at bat.
Sawed-off shotgun right there.
Breaking ball down and in to strike him out.
Telling you, if you're a little leadoff hitter, a guy that's not known for hitting home runs, in a 2-0 game, you get to a 3-2 count, you're not even thinking about a slider on a guy that throws 97, 98. It's not even in your mind, because you're thinking, I can't hurt him with a long ball. He's going to throw it right down the middle and challenge me, and that's why Ben Revere missed that slider by so much. He was not even thinking about that pitch, and I think a lot of people were.
Ball 1 to Worth. 3 for 8 career with a walk against Familia. Slider up and a strike. Into center. Lagares there. That's down to their final out. And it's going to be Bryce Harper in there to try to keep this thing going for the former Met Daniel Murphy. Harper 1 for 7 career against Familia. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Ball 1.
If he's not taking a strike, this might be the best pitch he's going to see. Certain closers where you take a strike if you're not the tying or go-ahead run. This isn't one of them. You don't want to get to 2 strikes with Familia.
Harper left side. Right at Reynolds, and the Mets shut out the Nationals. A 2-0 5-hitter for Syndergaard, Reed, and their closer, Familia, who's now 13 for 13. 2 hours and 32 minutes, couple of home runs, the difference.